What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you a game that Magnus Carlsen lost in 18 moves. And this game was so crazy. Magnus didn't see the mates that I'm going to show. And when I analyzed this game, I put on the engine, and not even Stockfish saw this move. So it was a very crazy move. And I'm going to include Magnus's reaction to this move at the end. And without further ado, let's hop straight into the game. So it starts with pawn to e4. Magnus responds pawn to d5, the Scandinavian defense. Now, e takes d, queen takes d, all book moves. And now, normally white plays knight to c3 to attack the queen and to force the queen back. But this time, white played knight to f3. And Magnus responded with bishop to g4, pinning this knight to the queen. Now, again, most people would play pawn to d4 or knight to c3 to attack the queen, but here Magnus's opponent played bishop to e2. Now, Magnus developed his knight to c6, preparing for long castling, and after knight to c3, finally, white decides to attack Magnus's queen. He drops his queen back to d7, and now comes pawn to h3. Magnus decides he's going to take this knight. His opponent takes back, and now Magnus finally castles, getting his king to safety. White also castles, and now Magnus plays this move, knight to d4, which is a little bit inaccurate. The computer preferred to rather develop these two pieces first, because they were not involved in the game. But here comes knight to d4. By the way, this game was happening during something called a banter blitz. Chess24 used to have these things called banter blitz, where basically they got one of the top grandmasters in the world to play against everyday Chess24 users. Well, you had to have premium on Chess24, but you could have an opportunity to play the world champion Magnus Carlsen. Now here comes the move a4, which looks like, oh, this move does absolutely nothing. But you'll see that this move was the killer. White is preparing to go knight to b5. So Magnus decided he's going to play king to b8 just to put his king on a safer square. And now here does come the move knight to b5. And if you take this knight and after takes back and takes, all of a sudden there's some very scary stuff happening at the king, at black's king. So Magnus decides he's not going to take that knight. Instead, he's going to take the bishop with check. Queen takes bishop, and now he's going to play pawn to a6. Now, I'm sure Magnus was expecting the move knight to c3 or something along the lines of this, but his opponent just completely ignores this. His opponent was rated 1900, by the way, which might be a bit of a dodgy rating, or a suspicious rating, I will say. But here he plays pawn to c4, saying, you know what, just take my knight. I do not care, because I'm going to take with my a pawn, and I'm going to establish so much pressure on the a file. It is crazy for you to defend. Now, Magnus, he had an opportunity to take the knight, but instead he decided to play pawn to e5 to try and to develop his bishop. And here comes brilliant move number one of the game. Brilliant move number one, pawn to d4. And why is this brilliant? Well, firstly, the knight is just hanging. That's why it's brilliant, because, you know, chess.com gives you a brilliant if you sacrifice a piece. But the real reason is after pawn takes, the move played is bishop f4. And these pieces are just lined up on the c7 square. So now Magnus finally decided, okay, I will take your knight now. You have given me enough chances to take the knight. He takes the knight. His opponent takes back with the a pawn. And you guys can see his opponent's plan is just to go rook to a2, rook to a1, and deliver a checkmate. So Magnus plays bishop to d6, hoping to exchange off some pieces. Now comes the move rook to a2. And Magnus can see, oh, my opponent's threat is rook to a1. And then checkmate. So I want to give myself an escape square with my king on d7. So he played the move queen to f5 to give his king an escape square. Now comes rook to a1, threatening checkmate in 1. And after king to c6, let me actually turn on the engine for you guys quick. You can see the engine does not see this. The engine, let me just open that for you guys quick. The engine does not see the move that is to be played yet, but I will leave the engine on to show you. As soon as you put the move on the board, the engine suddenly sees. And this move is crazy. If you guys want to pause and try and solve, you can do that. But the engine says the best move is pawn to c5. And it gives white a +2 advantage. But watch this. After I make the next move, which if you guys have not paused by now, I assume you just want to see the answer. Queen to c6 is brilliant. And suddenly the engine says, oh, it's actually mate in 5. I did not see this move. And Magnus also, he did not see this move. And he was very, very impressed with his opponent. I will show you his reaction after this. But the idea is, okay, I can take your queen, but now pawn takes back, and your only escape square is covered. And whatever you do, you're not going to stop me from playing rook to a8 checkmate. You cannot stop it. If you try to go queen to b1 check, top engine move, yeah, queen to b1, I'm just going to take your queen. I'm still threatening checkmate. So if you try stop it, rook a1, and basically you're never ever going to stop this checkmate because this pawn on c6 is so deadly. It is absolutely crazy. And I will now show you guys Magnus's reaction, but I ask that you please subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to hit 1,000 subscribers. But anyway, I'll see you guys next time.
Probably still lost. Okay, queen f5 maybe. Rook c8. No, sorry, rook a1, king c8, rook a8, king d7, and run. Ooh, that is dirty. Wow. 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 That is awesome. Really awesome. Really awesome. Okay. Okay. There's nothing I can do, right? It's just mate. Wow. Okay, I resign.